Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are breaking down a massive, and I mean massive, time-sensitive financial opportunity for homeowners in Ontario. If you are even thinking about a major renovation or a new build, seriously, the next few minutes could save you a truly staggering amount of money.
We all know the feeling, right? Building or renovating a home in Ontario can feel, well, financially impossible sometimes. The costs just pile up: materials, labor, taxes, and it can spiral so fast that your dream project turns into a total nightmare. But what if there was a way to completely flip that script?
Okay, look at this number. What if I told you that you could unlock savings and avoid fees that could add up to over $250,000? No, this isn't some fantasy number I pulled out of thin air. It's a very real financial benefit that's available through a combination of provincial tax rebates and municipal fee exemptions. But there's a catch. You have to know exactly how to access it. So let's break that down.
So how on earth is this even possible? Well, the government has created this temporary and, believe me, incredibly valuable opportunity. You can think of it as a golden window for homeowners, like a perfect storm of policy that's designed to help with the sky-high costs of construction. But the key word you really need to remember here is temporary.
This timeline really lays it all out. The massive opportunity we're talking about exists within this very, very specific one-year period. We're calling it the golden window, and it runs from April 1st, 2026 to March 31st, 2027. Before this window, the rebate was fine, but much smaller, and after it, it's gone. This whole strategy is about timing. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Just look at these numbers. During this temporary window, the province is essentially wiping out the full 13% HST for homes valued up to $1 million. That's a maximum rebate of $130,000. Even for homes up to $1.5 million, you're getting that flat $130,000 reduction. I mean, this is a massive jump from the old baseline, which was just $24,000. It's a complete game changer.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, great, but how do I actually get this money? You might assume this is only for brand new homes built on empty lots. But the real key, the secret for most homeowners, especially in established neighborhoods, comes down to a very specific term the Canada Revenue Agency uses: the substantial renovation. And here it is. This is the crucial point. The CRA will treat a really deep renovation the exact same way it treats new construction for tax purposes, as long as you meet what's called the 90% rule. It means that 90% or more of the inside of the existing building gets removed or replaced. Honestly, this is the pivot point that unlocks this entire financial strategy. And this slide right here perfectly illustrates the strategic advantage. I mean, look at what you get to keep. The foundation, the exterior walls, the roof, the staircases, all the most expensive and structurally complicated parts of the house. You can basically gut the entire interior while keeping the expensive shell totally intact. That's what makes meeting the 90% rule financially possible and gets your project treated like a new build for tax purposes. It's brilliant. Now, of course, you have to prove you did the work. Your contractor needs to be really careful about documenting the whole process in case the CRA decides to audit. They'll typically use one of these three official methods: analyzing the percentage of floor space, the total surface area, or the number of rooms renovated to make sure the project officially qualifies.
Okay, so claiming that massive HST rebate is a huge win on its own. But for the really savvy homeowners and contractors out there, there's another layer to this. This is the pro move. Let's talk about what we call the double dip strategy.
This quote really gets to the absolute heart of the matter. For a long time, building in mature neighborhoods was choked by something called a tax on growth. But this double dip strategy, using that substantial renovation status, it completely neutralizes that barrier. It's a way to get around a huge historical roadblock.
So here's how it works, broken down into two simple steps. It's like a 1-2 punch. First, you use that 90% rule to claim the massive HST rebate we've been talking about. Second, and this is key, because you're renovating an existing structure and not building from scratch, you completely bypass these enormous municipal development charges. These are fees that cities charge for new construction to pay for things like roads and sewers, and they can easily top $100,000 in places like the Niagara region. All right, enough with the hypotheticals. Let's put this all together and look at a real-world financial breakdown from the Niagara region to see exactly what this looks like on paper. Let's talk real money. So for a client who's renovating a $900,000 home in St. Catharines, the math is just incredibly powerful.
They get back the full 13% HST, which is $117,000. Then they also avoid paying around $46,000 in development charges right up front. You add that up, and it comes to a total front-end liquidity benefit of over $160,000. That is cash in hand that can make a project possible, let you afford better materials, or just, stay in your pocket. So the big takeaway from all of this is urgency. This golden window is short, and the clock is ticking. The question you should be asking yourself isn't if you should do this, but can you get your project planned, designed, and ready to break ground in time to take full advantage of it? Because this opportunity won't last forever.